We're here, and we're going to be talking about the All-Star reserves and starters reaction, and obviously the snubs as well.
So
So
I'm having to turn my volume up a little bit.
was I quiet? All right. All right, so let's go. What? First of all, Domantas Sabonis. I think he got snubbed like right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know who.
So, I mean,
Wait, Wes,
obviously,
is your mic plugged in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I mean, obviously, we can't all be like knowledgeable NBA fans, but if we were, we would know that he actually just got put in place of Kevin Durant about 2 hours ago.
You're lying.
Sorry, you told me that, and I just.
You're lying. He did?
Yes, he did.
Why did Kevin Durant get replaced?
Because he's hurt, and he's going to be out for the
No way.
break. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm actually kind of glad that happened. He earned.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, KD deserves the start, but I mean, I am glad that Domantas Sabonis was able to get in because he definitely deserved it as well.
For sure.
And I just forgot about it, and I thought he was still a snub, so that is kind of embarrassing.
You bought.
Okay, let's see. What are some? Let me see. What are some other snubs we can get out of the way? Obviously, Devin Booker was a snub.
Well, not
anymore. That got fixed.
Not anymore. So who's left? I think now there's no one obvious, but I think DeMar DeRozan was playing well.
Yeah. DeRozan, I think, you could definitely make an argument for a snub, and also Trae Young. In my opinion, that's the biggest one left. Like I said, 27-9 and not getting in.
Yeah.
That's pretty tough to justify.
It is. And I think my biggest concern is the inconsistency. Because if their guideline is we need players who are playing well and their team is playing well, then great. Stick with that consistency though. But they're obviously not because
Luke is starting.
Not to mention Bradley Beal. I know.
I
know you have a soft spot for him, but definitely he's a prime example of that.
I think he should have been an all-star though. Starter, I don't know.
Who? Bradley Beal?
Yeah, Bradley Beal.
Definitely. Yeah.
Putting up, he's averaging 32.
Yeah.
And he's every single win that team has gotten, it's been because of him.
Westbrook has been doing bits too over there, to be honest.
He has. No, he's picked it up a lot. I mean, I'll admit I'm really not a huge fan of the team thing. I've always thought it should be about individual accomplishments.
Yeah, I actually agree with that for all stars.
I understand.
Don't agree with that.
Most valuable. MVP is a different conversation.
It's a completely different conversation.
It's literally called valuable.
Exactly. Because also look at Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They're what, 8 seed, 9 seed?
Yeah.
If that was their guideline that okay, we need a good player, good team ranking wise, then they should not be all stars. Zach LaVine
I think they should have given it to one of them. I think it probably should have been Jaylen Brown because he's been playing better. He's been playing more efficiently. But I don't think they should have given it to them. You can't give an 8th seed 2 all-stars when neither of them are averaging over like 26, and there's a player averaging 27 and 9 who isn't getting in.
Yeah,
that feels kind of odd.
Yeah, that's crazy. But see, that's my issue with this whole thing. They're not consistent. There's no consistency whatsoever, right? Like,
yeah.
What's the consistency? Like, what seed are the Pelicans? I know they're not.
Oh man, like 12.
So I mean, sure, Zion is doing bits. He's playing really well. But that's another example, right, of a team that's not doing crazy well. Another example is Vucevic, right? The Magic. I don't know. Is this a casual moment? I think the Magic aren't doing so well, right?
Yeah, they're like 13th.
Yeah, so there's clear loopholes in this entire ranking system, which is super annoying because it's like.
Okay, well, it's voted on by fans partially, so it's not going to be 100% consistent the same way. Like,
I mean, who voted for Vucevic? I kind of want.
I voted every single time for Vucevic. He deserves it. He's been killing it.
I mean, it's not. He put like 42. Remember, I think like the first day we got him in
fantasy, he played really well for us.
Yeah.
No, but
I voted.
I don't know. What?
The Magic. You realize they have like no point guard right now. Like Markelle Fultz is out. I don't know who. I'm pretty sure like the last time the Warriors were playing them, because I remember this game, they just had like a different player each possession like running up with the ball. So I mean,
Mhm.
you can't entirely put it on. Like he's the best player on their team, but it's not entirely his fault because they have 0 point guard right now. So
Yeah.
that's tough.
That is true. That is true. But I still don't think that there's no consistency whatsoever. And that's really annoying because then people like Trae Young are getting screwed. They're just purely
Yeah.
getting screwed because they have no apparent checklist, right? And
Okay, wait. So let me get to my, I guess, my biggest issue then, if we're on that topic, is, and I know this is
I
going to
think I
be
know. I
a
think
bit controversial, but it's Chris Paul,
yeah, I agree with that actually.
who, I was talking about this earlier, and I was saying I understand Chris Paul is a winning player, and that's what he does. He doesn't put up a ton of stats, but his teams always win games. But at the same time, first off, why are you putting him over Devin Booker, who most Suns fans are even agreeing is the best player on that team? Doesn't make any sense. Um, but then like even past that, there's so many players that are very clearly putting up better stats than him. I mean, why,
I think
again, like Hassan, you were saying, why are you starting Beal, but then also not putting in like De'Aaron Fox over Chris Paul? When the justification for Chris Paul is that he's winning games, then why are you starting Beal or Doncic? Doesn't make any sense.
it doesn't. It doesn't. It's really inconsistent, and it's really frustrating. Another person who I think got snubbed was Bam.
I don't know.
Bam is one of those players that like you could make a case for him as an all-star, but I don't see who you'd take out.
I would put him over Jimmy Butler, obviously, but
I
that's
don't.
still.
I mean, I think Jimmy Butler's been playing like the best player on that team.
He has been
Well,
playing
he
really
is.
well.
But obviously, as an all-star, I wouldn't put him in because he was injured so much.
Yeah.
Wait. This is gonna be a quick question. Who's gonna be the captain for the East? Because lights out, right?
So it's not KD. So is it the next
Oh
person?
yeah, KD was the leading vote getter. It's probably gonna be Giannis then.
Damn it.
Is it gonna be wait? Steph was the leading vote getter, right? Not LeBron, or was it LeBron?
I think it was LeBron.
It's gonna be Giannis and LeBron again. A guy, so annoying.
So stupid.
Yeah, but okay. To your point about like record, like this, I think the Suns are like the 4th seed right now in the West, or they're like just behind the Lakers.
Suns in 5.
But yeah,
Anybody.
the Suns didn't make the playoffs last year. I mean, they were close, but if anything, they were gonna be like barely in the playoffs. But right now they're the 4th seed, and they're looking like a real threat in the West, in my opinion. And I think that's like 100% because of Chris Paul. I mean, Devin Booker's stats are great, better than Chris Paul's, just looking at the stats. But
I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree that Chris Paul is the reason they're playing so much better. But does that make him an all-star? Because I don't know. Like, okay, last season, for example, was Chris Paul an all-star?
Yes, he was. Yeah. And it's really funny because last year, who was the player who everybody was complaining should have gotten in over Chris Paul?
Booker, right?
Devin Booker. And now they're on the same team, and the exact same thing happened. Last year, I was even more annoyed about it because Devin Booker was putting up even better stats. But
I mean, at least they're consistent. I think the league has a little bit of bias towards like veterans. I think
that is also true.
because when Kobe was an all-star, I think it was 2014 or
Yeah.
2015. He didn't deserve it. One of those seasons.
Yeah.
It was one of those seasons he very obviously didn't deserve it, but he still got it because of just he's a veteran. It's Kobe.
yeah.
I mean, I remember when they did it for Dwayne Wade and Dirk Nowitzki, but they like intentionally they said like we're creating 2 extra spots so that these veterans can get to play in the final All-Star game, and it's like okay, I didn't really like it because now that gets counted towards their like All-Star totals, and so when people are like looking back at their careers, it'll look like they got an All-Star selection that year.
Yeah,
but
I think it's really that. I completely disagree with that. I don't like that at all, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, that's pure bias. 1, 2. It's a slippery slope, right? I mean, what's the stop from there? You could do that for anyone at some point.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so you guys are talking about like Trae Young being a snub, and I mean, I don't know exactly the percentages of how many people's votes count for how much, but I know the coaches vote on it, and you guys know how like Steve Nash was complaining about like dude, Trae Young's play style, he's not even playing real basketball. Like, I mean, I don't know how all coaches think, but I mean,
Steve Nash is just jealous because when he played, his coach wouldn't let him take threes, and they made him like pass the
Yeah.
ball half the time.
but yeah. So I mean, I could see coaches having like a
That is
like
also something that like most NBA fans. I'm not just saying like I'm not gonna say casuals because I know for a fact I do it too. So I mean casuals,
Well,
but
yeah, you're not a
yeah.
cat.
But I think like 99% of NBA fans factor in offense way more than defense. Just like not even without thinking about it, like unconsciously.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and so that's why I think people like Ben Simmons and Rudy Gobert might, in the coach's eyes, because coach they
yeah,
actually really understand the game of basketball. They might just be like, oh yeah, I mean, obviously Ben Simmons is an all-star. Look at all the defense he plays. Whereas a lot of fans just don't even factor that in at all.
as well. Actually,
So I don't know.
that's true. Yeah.
It's
I
like
think although that is definitely very true, but does Ben Simmons deserve to go over DeMontis Sabonis?
I don't think so. Although I don't know how good of a
Definitely not.
I don't know how good of a defensive player Sabonis is, so I can't really speak on that.
But Ben Simmons is obviously the better defender anyway.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't know anything about Sabonis' defense, so I don't want to comment on that. But
One of the like really interesting like things I heard is that like if like the average fan really cared about defense as much as offense, then Trae Young would probably be considered a worse player than Draymond Green because Draymond arguably provides more on defense than Trae Young does on offense and still is able to create on offense for his teammates. Whereas Trae Young, even though he's an offensive star, is literally like a turnstile on defense. So I don't know. That's just an observation.
I mean, I also think that Chris Paul is like the same way on offense that Draymond is on defense, where like not a lot of it shows, but you kind of have to see how he affects the floor, like not just being another threat that you have to guard, but like his passing ability, his defense, like it's just kind of a different element that you can't see in the stat sheet a lot of the time.
definitely.
So okay, if we're talking about snubs, I feel like I also just want to quickly like shout out that I think they got right, which is they got Julius Randle and Zach LaVine, which I think are two players who definitely deserved it because they've been putting up good stats, and even if their teams haven't been winning, it's very obvious that they're not hurting their teams actively.
The Knicks
So
are kind of winning compared to
true compared to what they have been, but still they are. I think they're what, the 8th seed now. 6th seed? Okay.
Wow.
They have a very impressive 16 and 17 record for the East. That's like they might as well have won 73 games.
And the Bulls are right behind them. So I mean,
yeah,
very impressive.
Zach LaVine, they got right. Wait, did you mention that? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
So those are the two players that jumped out at me as being like, yes, that's a good job.
I think Bradley Beal as well.
True.
I'm very happy he got chosen because that's just heartbreaking if they wouldn't include him. That would just be bad. You said Julius Randle.
I mean,
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't think I feel like Donovan Mitchell. I think everybody kind of was like, yeah, that's a.
I mean, he has to be.
People would have freaked out if
he's low in the MVP conversation, but he's still in the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Let's do hot take time. He's not even the best player on the Jazz. It's Rudy Gobert because Rudy provides more defensively for them than Donovan Mitchell does offensively.
Can you repeat that? Sorry, you cut off for a little bit. Can you repeat
Rudy Gobert. Oh wait. Is my internet?
No, it's me.
Okay. No, I think that Rudy Gobert is the best player on the Jazz. I think he provides more for them defensively than Donovan Mitchell provides offensively.
I think that's a little bit of a casual moment because I've been watching some of the Jazz games, and if you just watch their game, it's kind of flowing through Mitchell. The ball moving and everything, everyone is playing so well, but it's definitely flowing through Mitchell. And they're playing well defensively, yes, but guess what? They're also shooting an insane amount of threes. They're scoring a lot of points, Thomas. They're scoring like an insane amount of points.
I know, but a lot of their offense is about. I mean, I don't think I've watched as many games as you have, but I have watched a couple of their games, and it very much seems ball movement trick offense, which creates open shots for a lot of people like Bojan Bogdanovic and others. And so, I mean, it doesn't always seem to flow directly through Donovan Mitchell. In fact, sometimes it kind of like discourages that type of one-on-one play. But maybe I'm like totally.
I don't know.
I'm
I
just
think
not.
sure, Gobert is a key piece for them, but I think aside of Gobert and Mitchell, it's just everyone is playing their piece. Like Clarkson is playing like insane. Like whenever he's on the court, he's so comfortable. He's just dribbling. He's like trying, hustling. He's playing really well, and
Yeah,
that's,
but
that's a huge turnaround for his career.
I think that like offensively, their offense revolves more around multiple people than it does defensively, where Rudy Gobert is literally like the single defensive anchor who keeps them competitive. Because Clarkson's not a very good defender. Donovan Mitchell's not a very good defender. Bojan Bogdanovic is not a very good defender. Joe Ingles, I can't speak, but I don't think he's a very good defender.
Yeah.
I'm not sure though.
What about Conley? Conley's having.
He is a good defender. I do know that. That is, you are correct on that.
I don't know. I think sure that is true. Definitely. I don't want to disrespect Gobert because he is also doing bits.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I don't know.
I'm just curious. We all agree he's the defensive player of the year this year, right?
Gobert.
I'd
have to.
I mean,
I don't want to say something.
Top tier defensive player on the best team in the league who has one of the best defensive ratings.
Yeah, I was thinking like in my race, it's gonna be like Gobert, AD. AD's out now, so he's kind
of.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. AD had been struggling a bit. Yeah. So I wouldn't have put him up there, but I don't know.
I'm trying to like, who else do you have in the race other than?
See, that's why I think it's Gobert, because if normally there's a couple players everybody can like kind of agree upon, is race, but can't even think of another person. Maybe Ben Simmons. He's a really defender, and his team's winning a ton. That's usually what it takes.
Wait, but is he doing defensive stats?
He gets a ton of steals. I don't know about blocks. He gets more blocks than average for a guard, also because he's 6'9".
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we kind of just shifted to the defensive player of the year conversation. I guess it's clearly Gobert.
Sorry, I mean, I got a sidetrack because I decided to drop a hot take. But
oh yeah.
So what do we want to get? Do we want to talk about our predictions versus reality?
MVP?
All-Star game or what?
For the All-Star game.
So are they going to do it like the same way where like the fourth quarter they have to reach a specific score or something like that?
I don't know. I hope they do. That was fun.
I like that one. That's like a fun, definitely a fun version.
Because I feel like the All-Star game lost its competitiveness in recent years.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Now it's like actually competitive. They're like playing defense, man. It's like crazy. Oh, speaking of defense, Curry's defense has improved.
Yeah, I mean, I think the team effort.
I mean, obviously the team effort, but no. Defense is kind of an individual effort. On an individual level. I mean, on an individual level.
Yeah.
Like, his defense has improved. That doesn't really have to do with Draymond or Damian Lee. It's like him. He changes.
Honestly, I'm just curious. Where did you like come up with that? Because I haven't heard anybody talking about that. But
I mean, I've been watching him play, and he's hustling a lot more. He's trying a lot more in defense. His hands are up and all that. He's like kind of shaking and this and that. I don't know. At least that's what I think.
I mean, obviously,
but yeah.
Even when he won MVP, he was averaging a ton of steals, which I think it was people always do. They say, well, he's not a terrible defender because look at how many steals he gets. And I think he still averages on the higher side for steals. So.
I mean, I think
I think, but like kind of gearing it back to All-Stars, I think obviously Curry was a very, very obvious choice. That's like, okay, that's good. He was chosen, right?
Dame was snubbed for starter.
Dame was snubbed for starter. I'm sorry.
Who?
Dame was snubbed from a starting position.
Who? Sorry, I didn't hear. Who got snubbed?
Dame.
Oh, Damian Lillard. You're saying that. So who should he ever replace?
Luka. Anybody disagree with this, Hassan?
No, I don't disagree. I just don't know enough about.
I mean, I'm not like pissed about it.
So
He
why?
definitely
Like, well, can I ask, like, why? Like, what's like so obvious to you that?
I mean, he's like carrying the Blazers right now. Literally, who's on their team right now? I mean, not literally who's on the team, but like, you see how many injuries they have right now? Like
That is a
Nurkic,
good point. Yeah.
CJ, and right now they're like, what seed are they? 5th seed.
That is true. They are playing. They are doing bits.
Dame is doing bits. See how many clutch shots he's hit too?
That is a very fair point.
I mean, he's averaging damn 30 and 8. So
My thing with like team success has always been, you shouldn't. If two players have like similar stats, then you should be able to bring it up. And since Luka and Dame's stats are so similar, I think it is pretty fair to bring up the fact that for whatever reason, Dame's is contributing is leading his team to a lot more wins.
yeah,
Also, he doesn't really have a supporting cast with Nurkic and CJ out.
Mhm.
So I think it's fair to say that given that he's averaging essentially the same stats, I think like he's averaging 1 more point, 1 less assist. I think you can then go and say, well, I like, sorry, Luca, but you're not winning games, and Dame is. So
I mean, I
Dame
think
should start.
he has a better supporting cast when everyone's healthy. Like if CJ and
Yeah.
he's a better supporting cast because they got a lot better actually. Like they had like Cantor's doing really good. He's great on defense. Robert Covington, Carmelo. Trying to think of anyone else like Zach Collins, I guess. But Luca's team isn't great, but they're all healthy for the most part. So kind of has no excuses to not be doing as well as Dame. So
Yeah, I know. Luka's been a little bit disappointing this season. I think not like because of like, oh, he's playing really bad. Obviously, he's throwing stats, he's doing bits, but I think it's because the team is doing so bad.
They've picked it up a bit. They're the 10th seed. Which is
Yeah.
like,
Still though, like
yeah.
when the beginning of the season, everyone was like, Luka's gonna be the MVP. He's doing bits, but then
I mean, I remember we were talking, and I think I forget which one of us said it, but it was like, I think what needs to happen for the Mavericks this year is that Luka needs to play at the MVP level, and if he does, then they'll be a good team, and if not, then who knows? And I
Yeah.
think we're.
I mean, it
I
seems
mean,
like stats are great, but it's
yeah.
like no volume. Like it's not resulting in anything really. Unfortunately, I mean they were the 7th seed last year with like basically the same roster. I think Powell was actually
But to be fair, the 7th seed in the West last year was a much better record than the 500 record they have right now.
yeah, it's very But wait, how many? They're not playing a full. It's not 82 games, right? It's like 70.
72. But it's enough to. I mean, you can kind of figure out what the record would have been. They played 82.
And they're just below 500. I guess that's not terrible.
Are we kind of like running out of stuff to talk about with All Stars? We could.
yeah,
we
I
could
think
MVP.
that's about it. I mean,
Really?
for All-Star,
Well-
yeah, I mean, MVP we should do on another day. I think.
All right. Okay.
Got to get stats for that. Got to get conversations for that. Because I think I'm really biased for Mitchell, like really biased for Mitchell. So I need to actually learn. I'm not learn, like actually like get proof to support my claim, or
You watch the games.
Okay. Look, if you want to like, so you're saying you don't want to have the argument right now, but I'm ready to go because
I'm definitely.
I'm always.
I know no, I'm not well adequate for that. So we're gonna have to say that for the next.
I think that's gonna be about it for this week.
It is.
All right.
No, say it again. Say it again.
Vomiting me out.